Hello, this is Manesh Patel with IMTF Trade. Today I want to talk to you about patterns. Why am I talking to you about patterns? A lot of people talk about double tops, triple tops, and then talk about pennants, flags, and various different things. One of the critical things is that all those patterns are dealing with single time frame events that occur. Today I'm going to show you patterns that are higher probability, dealing with multiple time frame analysis, something that a lot of people do not do and they cannot do. And I want to show you how those work and exactly how you could do it yourself. So before we begin, let's go for a normal disclaimer to state this is for education use only. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell any particular instrument. All information is owned by EII Capital Group. We are broker neutral. Today we will be using TradingView to show you the charts, but we do support other charting brokerage platforms. Okay, so let's go to the chart. If you think about every indicator and everything that's out there, trading is all about recognizing key support resistance values and then looking to see when those support resistance values are broken to start trend. Okay, so we're going to take that concept, we're going to move it to another level. Now on this chart you see these crosses. Okay, these crosses are multiple time frame supports. The crosses, they only appear when the swing traders and long-term traders are thinking the same way for support resistance. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these crosses and look for patterns. Okay, so here's a big pattern here, and let me zoom in. So notice one thing, this is a trend that was going up, up, up. Then you had a multiple time frame resistance right there. It closed lower. Then it closed back above it, and then kind of did a lot of wishy-washy stuff that kind of consolidated. Okay, what we were looking for is a certain pattern concept, and what I'm doing is I want to look for 3 crosses in a row that exhibit some type of behavior. Okay, so here's one here. There's a cross here that's a multiple time frame resistance here. Price basically held that resistance, went below it. Okay, notice one thing, this bar had a lower low than that one, and this was the support. The resistances are going down too. So this is multiple time frame resistances are going down. Okay, and the price went lower. Then you had another cross here, and basically the low of the price went lower. However, the closing price sat there and closed higher than the previous week. Okay, so that was a little suspicious there. A lot of people that look at the candlestick patterns will look at as doji. I don't really look at that. So then what I did was I looked at the next bar. So I'm looking for 3 bar patterns at least. I know you have the 4th, but this is continuous. But you see this here. So this was a suspect here because it did have a lower low. However, the closing price sat there and did not go lower. So that could indicate a possible bottom. Next bar, we basically had a multiple time frame support. So this flipped from being a resistance to a support, which is exactly what I'm looking at. And the next thing I'm looking at is the high and the closing price of this bar to exceed this previous bar and the bar before that. And look what that did. That did. This was the indication that now this has basically bottomed and this possibly could go bullish, and that basically started the trend here. And you can see from the next bar we got reinforced with another multiple time frame support, but it went higher. So the supports are going higher, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, here's another example here. This is a multiple time frame resistance right here that developed. Notice it closed lower here. The low of the bar went lower, but the closing price basically was higher. That's a little suspect, but I need 3 patterns at least. Okay, next one here, sat there, same level here, kind of did the same thing here and so forth here. This bar right here, notice the crosses went inverted. So you have 2 crosses the same way and then 1 cross the other way. So you had 2 resistances here, and then all of a sudden it flipped to be a cross here. And then look what happened here. This bar here closed higher, and the higher the bar, this closed higher than the previous ones, and this was high. And you can see here it consolidated a little, and then it took off. Okay, notice the next bar flipped again, and that's one of the reasons why it did not sit there and take off like the previous one. So if you see this right here, you could look at the next bar, and you want to make sure if there's crosses, it's reinforcing with the direction you're trying to take. And you could see when this bar appeared, the crosses were above you. That will stop you from entering on that particular week. Okay, then you had another pattern here. Look at the crosses here, here. Then look what happened. You had a cross here that developed, and then you had the next bar had a cross below you, so you knew at that point you had a possibility of starting a trend, so you could sit there and look to enter on this week here, and you can see that started a trend nicely. Now we're showing this chart on the weekly, but you pretty much can do it on any time frame you want. Okay, then if you look here, you had a cross here, next bar didn't have a cross, so you can't really look at that. This bar had a support here, went to resistance, but remember, you want at least 2 supports and then flip to resistance, or 2 resistances and then flip to support. So you really didn't get that there. Okay, now over here, notice one thing here. This is a little interesting. So we have a double top here. A lot of people can view this as a double top, some people won't. Okay, so over here, look what happened here. You have a multiple time frame cross, it closed above it, so that support held, even though you was a little suspect because the opening price was below that level. So at 1 minute during that week, that cross was a multiple time frame resistance, and next at the end of the week it was a support. This following week right there, the cross went lower, which is what I'm looking for, and if you look here, this cross went lower and now it closed below it. Next bar, I'm looking for the confirmation, and that's exactly what happened here. You could see it confirmed here and then basically went lower here. So this is a sign of it topping out here. Okay, now this is a problem here. Notice one thing. You have 2 crosses that are going down in the support. This next bar here, you're looking to possibly go bullish. Notice it did not have a multiple time frame cross to go bullish at all. Whereas all these other times here, notice in this pattern here, in this 4 pattern, this here, this confirmed, and this was a confirmation by having that. When you have a cross right there, reaffirming on the next bar, then you know you have a high probability going up, and so forth here. So this is a 3 pattern cross, where the 4th cross is basically the confirmation. You get that, then you know you got a high probability of a trend. And notice one thing, this cross is going higher than that previous one, so supports are going up. Same thing here, this cross is going higher than that previous one, so you know the supports are going up. So that's exactly what you're looking for in these scenarios. And notice one thing, you had the 2 crosses, this here, there was no cross here, and that's one of the reasons why this did not sit there trend to go to the pivot high and break it at all. Okay, and that's what you're looking for, is this pattern. So if you look at it, you're looking for almost like a 4 cross pattern, but I don't call it a 4 cross pattern. Reason why is I call it 3 cross, and then the 4th one is just the confirmation. And the reason why I don't say 4 is because we have some people are conservative, some people are aggressive. So you know, the 4th one is a confirmation. So if you're a conservative trader, you're definitely looking for that 4th cross. If you're not, then pretty much you could sit there and look for 3 crosses and go. And you could pretty much apply this for any instrument in any time frame, and you will see that it works really, really well out there. Okay. If you guys have any questions, you can email us at info@eiicapital.com. Thank you.